Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here. Welcome to a video all about the DLC characters. Since Kombat Pack is out now, I've had a little bit of time to spawn, so my placement today isn't totally change on that, but you know, I thought it'd be a fun time to, you know, kind of properly rank all of the DLC characters, and of course by doing so we'll be looking at all three variations, because it'd be pretty stupid if I made a video where I just look at their worst variation and then say where they fit on the tier list. So we're starting off with Shang Tsung here. I think he's probably at the bottom of the Kombat Pack as far as abilities and stuff go. Main reason being he has actually two decent variations, Warlock and what's the other one with the ninjas? What's it called? Soul Eater. Spellmaster we can just completely ignore, as we all know around here. So as a character, he's got some decent strings. You know, he's got some mix-ups. Got an overhead on that one. It's a little bit slow. The only thing is, like, he's got lots of gaps and lots of ways to exploit them, but once you really understand the matchup, there's not really a whole lot to fear here. The low overhead is pretty much you can blow it up with just a standing attack, anti-air him. And that's fairly easy fuzzy, although depending on what you commit to afterwards, you know, might change that a little bit. As far as special moves, you know, this is good. You can forward put it close or far, and then he's got the corpse drop afterwards. It's and of course, you can put that at different ranges as well, so that's just kind of a gross move. I don't like even looking at that move. So it's good, but I mean, at this point, it's easily reactable, and you know, moving around it isn't really that much trouble. So it's pretty mediocre. We've seen Foxy Grandpa do some good stuff with Warlock, so he's definitely a tournament viable character, and I honestly think all the combat characters are. I think that they could do just fine holding their own in tournaments, but I think just the unsafeness sometimes of Shang Tsung, like for example in a matchup, if you're playing against Katana or Kung Lao, they can just jump right after this first one, and then you're completely screwed. So it seems to be a bit of a counter pick there, especially with Kung Lao, since he's a pretty decent character to begin with. You know, there are some characters I'm sure that Shang Tsung does great against. In his Soul Eater variation, he does get a nice little 50-50 because this is the mid into the overhead, and you can do mid into the slide. So it is both options. Well, the low option is unsafe, so I mean, but it's a 50-50 and it's there, so it's something. So I think Shang Tsung kind of is the starting point for our tier list discussion here on DLC characters. So next in line, and you could kind of interchange these two if you wanted to. I wouldn't be mad if you had this one over the next one or that one below this one. I think they're both fairly equal as far as skill-wise, but anyways, we have Nightwolf here. So I think the thing that makes Nightwolf so good is his ability to just open you up. He has so many different tools that he can use to open you up. All sorts of lows, overheads, and he's fairly safe. He does have a couple strings that you kind of have to hard commit to, like that one there. Katana has that kind of thing too, so I don't think it's a huge deal, but as far as this variation goes, he does get the Rising Tomahawk, which really gives him extra combo damage and extenders, so it, on top of the ability that he already has to open you up, he now has a combo option, so pretty good. I don't know really many Nightwolf combos. I learned, check this one out that I did. It's dope. Oh, I didn't have meter, hold on. Yeah, I just learned that in 5 minutes. He also does have a damage buff as well. I don't know how useful this is. For that combo that I just did, it only added 40 damage. But I mean, in a life or death situation where they're 40 damage away, might be kind of useful. In his second variation, I believe he gets a command grab. Alright, so in this variation, he gets this command grab, which is very good. For many reasons, because it has a lot of ticks that you can do off it. You can do standing one, 1-1, which is amazing because he already has 1-1 as an auto shimmy already. So 1-1 into tick grab. You can do down 1, down 3, or down 4, or you could cancel out of this one and get the tick grab. So he has a ton of options there, and especially the scary ones, the standing 1 and the standing 1-1, because you already have the auto shimmy on his regular throw that you can go with, and now you have a command grab to worry about. So in addition to that, he also doesn't really have to worry about zoning that much because he has a teleport. I had to figure out how to do the teleport there. So in addition to having a reflect option, bam, he teleports, he's right behind you, you can get his throw game going, you can get his pressure going, whatever else. So Ancestral Gift, pretty freaking cool. Moving on to Shaman. So this is probably the more underwhelming variation for Nightwolf, but I mean, Nightwolf, you just get good tools to begin with, so it's pretty neat. So he gets the lightning arrow, which is a mid, so you kind of have to block that or jump over it or whatever. And then the other thing he gets is the roll, which is kind of cool because if someone's kind of zoning him out, you just roll under the projectile and then bam, you get a little combo. I don't know how to combo it, but it's just an option there. So I think this variation could probably do some work in certain matchups. I don't know if you can main it on its own, but I think it's definitely viable. Someone's definitely walking past my house right now because my dog is letting me know it. Anyways, let's move on to the next character. Like I said, I wouldn't blame you if you switch these two around. They're fairly close in my opinion, so... Alright, so we have Sindel here. So we have splitting hairs in this variation. She gets a combo starter with this one. Get some extra damage. And you also get this move, which is super annoying when I'm playing against her, because if I'm trying to zone her and she's like, nah, I'm sick of this, screw you, I'm in. So, and then it puts her right at perfect distance for her forward 4, which is an absolutely incredible move. Incredible move. Some people might say, well, it's 14 frame rate, so I mean it's not really that good, but you're not supposed to use it in their face. You use it right here. Bam. And then she can use the up 3 afterwards, and she's completely safe. You have this obnoxious string here with the end it in the low, end it in the little mid to hit him away. If you want to kind of create your distance, play your little game with this thing. Or you could do a mix-up. Overhead low, why not? Same with this one. Got the low option. Bam, overhead. It's a little bit slow, probably fuzzy it, but you know, if you play properly and really condition your opponents, I'm sure you'll be able to get it off now and then. One of my favorite moves that she has is literally called Back It Up, which is the booty bounce. I think that's so funny. I always saw the move, but I had no idea what the string was called, so based on that alone, I'm for it. So, oh hey, Evil Presence, thanks for coming online. Appreciate that, man. He's the only one I have that alert for, so he better feel special. So forward 4, up 3. Just one of the better moves in the game, in my opinion. And that's pretty much splitting hairs, so let's go on to her second variation. So this variation gives her lots of fun stuff to play with. So you start with the Malevolent March, which of course, like you just saw, could cancel. It's kind of like a screw your neutral type tool, because she just kind of walks you down. Anytime she can amplify it and almost immediately comes out and hits you back, and she's at a safe distance again. That seems to be like Sindel's stories. Like after she does something, she's always at a safe distance. Walk them down like that. And then you also still, I think in all variations she gets this. You have a Shriek, so you can actually do Shriek cancels, so which is enhances the usage of her forward 4, and moves like this, because there's a guess off of this one. And now, you know, especially in the other variation, we have to worry about the overhead and the low, and then you have the screen cancels too. So I mean, it's pretty nuts. In the air, she gets this little Deadly Echoes, just kind of allows her to move around a little bit better. You can also use it in combos. I'm not going to attempt to show you one right now, because I still have PTSD from doing my combo video before, but that's kind of the idea you get. So lots of mobility in this one, and that seems to be kind of the main drag of it. So that's loud and clear. So far, 2 very useful variations, just kind of different things, which is why it's a little bit higher up on my list. So let's move on to the third one. All right, so then we have the Royal Edenian, which is kind of a hybrid zoner, anti-zoner kind of thing. So she's got this low star screamer that can go underneath projectiles really easy. So it's really hard to zone her out, especially with the enhanced one. So I've noticed that even a Cetrion, who has a mid projectile, this would still be really annoying, because on hit, the enhanced one, it knocks you down. So she then just moves into wherever she wants. One dash and she's in forward 4 range. Look at that. You also have the Prince of Venice, where you kind of put out this little orb, and it steals your life. And the thing is, you can actually stack this, and then it just takes a bunch of health. Usually you wouldn't stack it, unless you have an opponent that really is asleep at the wheel. But you know, if they're down to like 40 health or something like that, jumping in, throw one of these, kind of moving back, that in tandem with your zoning there should pretty much chip them out pretty good. And lastly, this is my favorite move, which is that one, which you can kind of do from many different distances. You can do it off of short hop if you want to, and the amplified version pops them up. So if you know Sindel combos, you'll know how to do stuff off of that. But that's super tricky, because like if they're getting ready to block a jump in, and just before you hit them, bam! Or if they try to anti-air you, bam! Bam! Like a rock. I don't know what that was, but you experienced it, so deal with it. Bam! So there you go. all sorts of fun stuff with Sindel. 3 variations that are really, really strong. I think that's the reason why I kind of put her a little bit over Nightwolf. But, you know, like I said, the 2 could probably be interchanged a bit. So, anyways, that's Sindel. Moving on. All right, so the Terminator. This is a character who is very interesting in that his other 2 variations aren't the greatest, but his main one that you use, ho man, is it good. So starting out with Destroyer, you get a little kind of low attack here. You can use it for some mix-ups if you want. Goes full screen if you amplify it. You can do something like that. It's a low into low. It is punishable at -18, so keep that in mind. But it is an option. He gets an anti-air grab. If you amplify it, you get a combo from it. However you want to end it. It's up to you. But Terminator as a character is just kind of unga bunga. Like, you got this low in the overhead. 4-2. So he's pretty much like playing MKX, while everyone else is playing MK11. So on top of that, you also have things like auto shimmies and that kind of thing to worry about with Terminator. So, and he can play very safe if he wants to. Like, look at that. 239 damage. You couldn't even air escape that. You didn't have a chance. And you can get a restand off of that. And then it reaches far enough that it's pretty much a guess. Sorry, bro. Guess again. So just as a base tool set, Terminator is just very good from the get-go. So in this one, he also gets the lunge, which it's okay, I guess. The arc isn't really high enough to go over projectiles, so I'm not really sure what its purpose is. Just kind of moves you around, I guess, kind of a screw you neutral kind of a tool. There's a close one. I don't know why you would need a close one. Maybe you want to do a close combo, I guess. Beats me. Now, anyways, let's get into the juicy stuff. Alright, this is just almost disturbingly good stuff. So, I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with the Jessica Alba backbreaker, which is the command grab, which has a really nice crushing blow off of it if you check out the requirements. It's like really, really good. So in addition to all the mix-ups he already has, you're also looking out for a grab as well. So keep that in mind. Really scary stuff. Then, I can't believe he has this in addition to it, he has the Running Man, where he just runs at you. And it's quick startup, it's hard to react to. You can end it in a kick, you can end it in a punch in a corner, that's a combo starter, or you can just do another command grab for some reason. You can amplify it and get a little bit more damage if you wants to. There's a very easy crushing blow to get off of that one as well. It does hella damage. Hella damage. So this is a big, like, screw your neutral. We're out here, we're kind of playing around. We're playing footsie. He's like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. Screw you. I'm just going to throw you. Or I'm going to kick you away. Or I'm going to kick you away, then I'm going to run at you again. It's stupid. It's really stupid. And then lastly, in this variation, he gets, I don't really want to say it's an anti-air. It's more like to counter air-to-airs. This move here. If you amplify it, it's a restand. But it's not very plus. As you can see, the opponent can jump pretty quickly, but it's got huge range. So you don't really want to jump, or at least be predictable with your jumps against the Terminator in this variation. And yeah, that's Dark Fate. It's pretty potato, so let's talk about the third one, which is going to be hard because this one was so good to talk about in the first place. Alright, so this last variation, he basically gets 2 things. He gets this move here, which, the Incapacitator, which makes it so that you can't really use your amplified moves. Not that you can't really, you just can't. It's okay. He gives up the shotgun blast for it, which I think isn't really a great trade. It lasts a fair amount of time, but not... could last longer, I guess, for giving up that kind of a move. But the fun thing about this variation is you get these little grenades, and they pop up into combos. And then, yeah, so you can kind of play him as a trap character if you want to, you know, something like that. Or some blocks super plus 27. But it is gimmicky, so just be kind of aware of that. You amplify it, it blows up right away. It doesn't have to wait for it to do its thing. So it's actually not a terrible variation. You know, it looks like there could be a lot of fun setups and things with it, but definitely not as good as Dark Fate. So it kind of takes the cake there. So that's why I have Terminator where I have him. He has one variation that's kind of eh, one variation that's like super good, and one variation that's pretty good. So he's fairly high up there. So that being said, let us move on. And then we have Spawn. Spawn, I'm not going to spend too much time on him because he pretty much just came out, so I'm sure he's fresh in all your guys' heads, but he is insane. All three variations kind of have a spot. So, I mean, looking at the first one, From Hell, I mean, you have this one that parries lows, so it'd be really useful to do like a down one into it to try and bait somebody counter poking you. You have the straight gun, which is, I mean, a good anti-air, but most of the time you're not really using it as that. Probably more kind of maybe a combo kind of extender, and it pushes them at a fairly safe distance. So, and of course you can amplify it. Just walk your opponent down, but one of the main reasons that I found, I've only fought this variation a couple times, and I get that people don't use it because the other ones are so much fun as well, but like, you can't survive chip health against this variation. Like, look at Sub-Zero's got 100 health. That's like, you can mount a comeback from 100 health, but like against Spawn, nah, you dead. Eat through your entire life bar and then your last breath as well. So that's basically From Hell, on top of Spawn's already amazing tool set with his back one. The one weakness he kind of does have a little bit is he's not the fastest up close, so like his main punish is going to be this one in the crushing blow, and then as soon as he gets it, I mean, that's it. You're not going to see a whole lot more other than maybe something like this. But most of the time he's kind of out here as it is. He's got some amazing crushing blows. Look at this sweep, that's ridiculous. Just a sick character altogether. So now I'll just quickly go over the one. So as we all know, this variation of course is for the combos. All the people that like their flashy combos with the combo extender can do almost 600 damage off of a throw crushing blow, which is pretty crazy. I think if you keep it un-air escapable, you can do like close to 500. It's insane, and I mean it's a little bit slow, so it's not like a great just kind of throw it in the neutral tool. But the nice thing about it is you can hit confirm almost all of his strings into it because he's a little bit slower on his strings are a little bit slower, so you can see they don't kind of come out as fast as like something like this, for example. So it's easier to kind of hit confirm almost anything into the combo. And to give him even more insane combos, he has the glide, which is I haven't really seen it really used much just to kind of like move around, you know. But I've seen it more just to be used to get like an extra hit in a combo or something. And it's super flashy when you can do it. I can't do it obviously, so I'm not even going to try anymore. And the third variation, which is the one that I've played the most. So this variation kind of loses your combos and stuff, but you gain a lot of good utility tools like this one right here, which again, similar to the last variation, kind of make everything safe. Had a little bit of extra damage there. Things like that, kind of ridiculous, can destroys the counter poking game. And then you have a command grab. This I have mixed feelings about because it's kind of useful if people don't really know the matchup, but I'm finding more and more that people are kind of doing it because I used to do between back 1-2. You do back 1 into that, and if they stand up to block the overhead, you get hit by it. But you can fuzzy it, so that is something to be aware of. And then he also has the stance. The nice thing is he gets a couple extra crushing blows for every move in this, with the exception of this one. So this one, you get a crushing blow if you hold it for a long time and then do the low. The command grab, you get a crushing blow from it if you hit it while you're invisible, which, I mean, invisibility is just a whole other thing altogether in this game. So, I mean, just keep stacking it on, man. Spawn's got 3 really good variations. And now to go to who I think is the best one out of the pack. So at the top of my list is the Joker, and the reason that I have him at the top of my list is because of his base moveset. He doesn't ever really have to take much of a risk. The only thing that's really I could find that's super punishable is this thing. Minus 12. I mean, you don't even have to finish it. You can cancel it to anything. Every variation has an option to make it safer. So he just has good moves altogether. If we go around here, what else is negative? There's one here. Yeah. 2-1-4. You're not going to punish that. Look how far away you are. 2-1-3. Same thing. Low. Plus it's a low. A little mix up there. So in this variation, of course, he gets a little pew-pew-pews, which is fairly decent. One other thing that Joker does kind of have advantageous, because I would say the one weakness that he has is dealing with zoning. But if you can be patient enough and get this move out here, they can't jump it, they can't avoid it, they have to eat it, and you can just follow it in. So just sit there, be patient, save your meter, there you go, move on in, do your thing. Let's not even get started about this move here. The range on that, unbelievable. But anyways, talking about the variation again. So he gets the Batsy Pew Pew and the Puppet Parry. Puppet Parry is actually quite good. I mean, he doesn't parry lows, but I like how you can delay it a little bit too. I like the same thing with the
I'm so dumb. Aw, so cute.
I'm so dumb. That in itself makes him my top character. But that's not gameplay wise, so. But that's pretty much it. He gets the parry, and then he gets the low shots, which actually, if you hit them, you know how damage they do just on their own? Like 200 damage. That's almost a combo for some characters. So, and then once it hits you, you're toast. I wouldn't really use it. Well, you could try and use it in mix-ups, I guess, but it's just a little bit slow, so you might get hit out of the startup. Or the worst case scenario, they're just blocking it, and then you're get a little bit of chip damage. And maybe run the timer down if you want. Alright, so then we have the Ace of Knaves, which is far and away his best variation. For example, I was saying how this move is his only punishable one. In this variation, you go from being punishable. A little bit of a gap there, so if they really are feeling frisky, they can maybe do it down too, but yeah. 24, plus 24. If I do the enhanced version of it, plus 40. Just do whatever you want at that point. Opponent's not moving. And then, of course, you can do it on a bunch of different distances, so you can counter zoning that way. You can keep somebody away that way if you wanted to. So the amount of setups and stuff for this is just endless as well. In the corner, it's some really scary stuff. And on hit, you can get a combo from it, whatever you want your combo to be. Pretty freaking nuts. So that's why, in addition to his base moveset, he also grabs the ability to be plus for whatever he wants to do. Then you have the Jack in the Box, which is an interesting move. Or sorry, not the Jack in the Box, that's the wrong one. The Jumping Jester, which kind of comes down from the sky. It kind of looks pretty funny, actually. Up close, not quite as good. Your negatives, you want to be careful about that. But I would, kind of use it more as a trap if you're having trouble kind of getting in on somebody. Because they kind of just have to hold that, and then you just do whatever you want. So between those two moves, I mean, there's got to be some cool stuff in the corner with the with that thing, like a knockdown or whatever. You jump that, have them hit them, then you're plus. You go into the string, and you do the Jack in the Box, and you're plus again. And like if you can get things going with this variation, like watching Sonic Fox play it was super entertaining because he was just on point with everything he was doing, See if I can come up with something in the corner real quick here. No, I can't. I'm not even gonna front. This character is way too intellectually challenging for a person of my capacity. But all the best tools, his best variation, bar none in my opinion. And yeah, that's that. Rounding out the end of the video is the Madman Joker. So this is your combo variation, of course. You get the combo extender there. Big damage, 35. I mean, if you have your Fatal Blow, you can get like almost 500. Pretty crazy. You also have the Getting Lit, which at first I didn't think was really that great of a move, but like, yes, I've seen the way that people have been setting it up on Twitter in the corner and stuff. It looks like it has some potential. I would love to see someone just kind of empty the can the whole way like that in an actual like tournament match or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Not really much you can do from that. And 5 tick damage, that's not too bad. It sticks around for a while too, so. I did forget to mention Joker's ridiculous mid, forward 1. For that range. That's crazy. That's not what I wanted to do. But that's it, guys. That's me ranking the DLC characters in the order that I find them. I think that fairly accurate, but if you disagree on whatever, just post in the comments down below and we'll have an intellectual discussion because we're adults and that's what adults do. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't because we're making new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you guys in the next video.
I am steward of Chronicle's vision. Fate has been so cruel to you.